flooding is creating a new problem for Canyon County. Leaders are concerned about a massive number of mosquito larvae. Usually at this time of year, the county begins to try to kill mosquito larvae if they find a larva in a cup-sized sample of flood water. But due to this year's flood increase, at some points they are finding hundreds of larvae in a sample. In the last week or two, in the last week of truth, is when we started searching for large numbers of mosquito larvae in some of the areas that are flooded where the water is shallow and the water temperatures and heat enough that these mosquitoes on the hatch. They usually see this type of mosquitoes every year, but nothing like the number they are finding now. These larvae are called inner mosquitoes flood water. Usually, the flood does not reach many of the eggs so they cannot get out of the shell, but this year is different. They put out in areas that are flooded. Eggs can remain viable for a maximum of 7, more or less about 7 years, in the land they are going to stay there, and then, when we have a flood like this, when there is no flood precedents, which triggers the hatching of this particular species. Burnett warns that these larvae will become mosquitoes flying when the weather warms and travel in large swarms. But these are not carriers of mosquito diseases. The bad thing is that they are going to start incubating out in very large quantities and they are ferocious teacup and even they fly around during the day. The good thing is that they are not a carrier of the disease. They are not like a West Nile virus or anything that. The county is trying to kill the larvae aggressively before the weather warms up. They use a bacterium that Burnett that is not harmful to humans, animals or fish. We have treated 400 acres so far, over 200 acres of Flat Deer Wildlife Refuge, where these mosquitoes are coming at this time, and we have another 250-acre program for the Boise River south of Middleton. Treatment begins on Wednesday. Boise River. The reduction of mosquito district will use an airplane flying low in height to leave the bacteria. When the weather warms up, Burnett informs everyone to be sure to use mosquito repellent when around the water.